All right, hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Mafia Memoirs. We're at SEMA 2018, and it is day 4, the final day, and it has been phenomenal. My name's Jody, Sedrick, my partner,
Puzey,
and we have
Dave Phillips. I'm the Chemical and Operations Manager for P&S Sales.
He is the chemical evil but super nice genius. So it's awesome to kind of sit down with you and just be a part of the P&S crew.
Yes, it's been fun to be part of the P&S crew, really. It has, for me too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting because I've been thinking a lot about you and Bob, and especially your dad. To me, I look at your business, it's not just a family business, it's a legacy business. And that's a lot different than just being a family business, because your dad started something, what,
57 years ago, 1961. Right?
So how did he get started, and then how did you get involved into the mix?
So, well, he started, selling product out of a truck in college. He came, he came back from, being in the military and did the GI Bill. He was going to, City College, San Francisco, I believe, and was working his way through school.
Wow.
He used to sell for, I can't remember the name of the company now. So he was doing those sales around the Bay Area. He ended up actually teaming up with competitors.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, some of them were competitors, some were just people that he knew and partners and that sort of stuff. And then started with the five partners, and they started the company. So, it's interesting now that I just kind of said that, is that, we feel like we're being very, we're trying to be very inclusive of everybody in the industry, and it turns out, I guess that's the way, we kind of started. Yeah, we kind of got started that way.
Yeah, and I love the hashtag Detail Industry Strong that you guys introduced, a couple weeks ago. And
yeah.
It's really all about that collaboration, helping each other elevate your business, my business, etc.
Absolutely, yeah.
So how did you get involved in the business? Because I know you went to UC Davis.
Yeah, I went to Davis. I just kind of had a knack for chemistry.
Yeah.
It's always been a subject that I understood very well, and kind of at the base level. So, which is cool. I just have a good picture for what happens in chemistry. I actually I too was selling products in college. I have family business, but my dad said, hey, you can make some money. So I took over a small section of West Sacramento, Davis, Woodland, and Yuba City, and I was running a route part-time, a couple days a week. So I started doing that as well. And then I got done with school, and I really kind of had planned on maybe doing something else. But I just didn't. I was working as a waiter, and I just went, I'm just not feeling like I didn't feel like the direction that I really had in mind. I said, hey, I might be interested in, coming to work for P&S Sales, and I think I was moved and had a job in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's about time you said something. Go.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
So your dad was all in. He's like,
yeah, he was all in. He was all in. So yeah, I came back to the Bay Area. We were actually still in San Francisco. Our products were being made over in Oakland by a former partner that company had sold, and so we were actually making our products at that time. So like I said, chemistry is kind of second nature to me, so standard chemistry background doesn't really lead you towards the sort of chemistry that I do, which is surface chemistry. And so I just went back. I live 5 miles from Stanford. A wonderful opportunity. I just spent 6 months in the libraries of Stanford, going over and basically fine-tuning my knowledge of all the pieces that you need to do this, and and the math and all the processes that are involved.
So that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of understand, is the evolution of the products. You're not, you and I had a conversation a while back about how the new Rennie Doyle line is completely re-engineered. It's not just a different label on a product. You've actually engineered new products.
There are 3 products that we basically just, they've always been a successful product. Those we brought into that line, and everything else is new. Yeah. So you know, Rennie, you know, part of the philosophy was that we would work with Rennie. Rennie would be, you know, kind of testing and working out performance, and we would continue to hone the products. So although, you know, we don't like to make regular changes to products, but we are constantly in an improvement mode now. So even, as someone just asked the other day, even like Ego Maker Compound, it's on its third.
Wow.
It's on its third, like it's like 1.3 now, right?
Right.
So we're kind of doing almost a similar thing to a software scenario where we're constantly making improvements in the products as we go. I mean, and we kind of have to, because we see what other people are doing as well in the industry. Whereas it used to be kind of a little more static, it's changing constantly now. The products are all improving in everybody's products at the same time. So, you know, and I look at a product and go, oh, I really like what that's doing. And then, you know, I'm bringing, you know, my abilities into that and going, well, I know how to make it do that, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's really
cool.
fascinating to me that one, you know, the knowledge that you have in the background to understand how to bring these chemical formulations together to create a product that is so, I mean, bead makers just exploded, right?
Right.
And it's like you, I mean, tell your story the other day.
Well,
you were,
the gal came in and wanted to smell the fragrance, but she didn't want me to squirt it, so I squirted it on my hands, and I literally couldn't get the touch screen on our software to function because it had coated my fingers enough. Which, I mean, it, you know, it came off and everything was fine, but it was surprising that it actually would do that at that level to where it really does coat. It really does put a barrier or a layer.
Yes, it really
there.
does. And yeah, we would kind of, I wonder what would happen if you just let it
go for 24 hours.
Let it do its
cure.
little curing thing. It's like, wow, that would be kind of interesting. I might give it a shot, because I tell you, the materials in the product are extremely low toxicity. Most of them are considered, it's called generally recognized as safe.
Right.
So, you know, we're not going for any food quality certifications or anything like that, but within the chemical realm, they're pretty safe materials.
So what is the process of testing the product? I mean, you come out, you have your initial idea, and then what's that testing cycle look like?
So, you know, and being as a detailer as well as a chemist, I think that's basically shortened that process quite a bit. I reject a lot. We were talking about the number of lab batches that I have. I have a set of spreadsheets that's probably got, you know, over 1,000 different lab batches that I've done. I mean, there are iterations of similar things and just, you know, tweaks that move forward. But it was an interesting kind of realization to me. It's like, wow, I'm not successful very often.
Well, you just need to get that one formula and be successful.
Yeah,
with that.
so I run through a lot of materials that I reject quite quickly, and then, you know, quite frankly, I use a product, especially when we were working with the Playmaker product. You know, I'm out there, you know, seeing how I can make it work. Bob comes out there and sees how he can make it not work.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
you know, he'll come in, I'll be working with a product, go, hey, Bob, man, I think I finally got this thing honed down. It's like got a nice, smooth application process. You know, it leaves a great shine. It does the cleaning that we need. Bob comes in and goes like, brings out the wrong machines, puts on the wrong pads, the whole ball of wax, and then sees how he can make it not work.
Nice.
So that is a really valuable tool, right? And I'm not wasting his time with honing down a product until he goes like, that was too easy to screw up, right?
Well,
and
and
I have
that's
to
a
go back
big
and
part
make
of it, right? Because I think a lot of times, even in our own software, you know, our programmers, they're back there and they're testing in a perfect scenario. Right? And they're going through it, and then Rod gets it. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah,
right?
it really pisses them off because I won't even get out of the room. I'll just go click, 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 there, broke. And they're like, why would anybody do that combination? And I'm like, because somebody's
going to
that
do that, right?
Someone will use the wrong pad. Someone will put it on in a hot environment. Someone will put it on in a cold environment. Someone will do something with that. You know, hey, I've got this problem. I put the bead maker in my tongue, and now I can't taste my coffee. Somebody's going to taste it. You know, we can grab anybody in here that's done something wrong, on purpose, just to see what it would do. Right.
Yeah, I mean, as a little aside, but yeah, you get the people that get their new Apple product, and the first thing they do is they run it over with a truck or something.
Yeah, to see if it
what's the
breaks.
purpose
Yeah.
of that? But after that process of Bob, and us figuring out how we can make it so it's less likely to not work, then we start utilizing Rennie and the Detail Mafia and a bunch of good partners that we have, and we send it out. And it's interesting with the Detail Mafia. Bob has recognized that if they love it, they tell you. If they don't love it, they silence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay,
really
okay.
interesting.
It's just like, oh well, that's not a winner. We're gonna have to tweak something to bring that to the level where they recognize it and it interests them.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing, because you think about the reverse of that. If I have a bad experience, somebody has a bad experience with a company, a retailer, or a restaurant, I mean, you get all kind of bad reviews.
Right.
Usually you get the bad reviews,
So-
but you're getting the opposite, where you just get silence.
It's not, we aren't gonna present a bad product to them. So the
Right.
product does work. It just doesn't catch their interest. It's just not enough for them to go, wow, I want to use
To get
this
excited
product.
about
Right.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and that it is actually one of the things that I find is that ends up making a successful product is if I can't wait to get back and use it again. If it now becomes
Okay.
the product that I pick up and use on a
Over
regular
and over,
basis,
yeah.
then I know it's like, wow, I think other people, even if it's not an instant love affair, eventually they're going to go, oh, wow, I like that product.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, that's really a good kind of a litlitmus test of something that you're doing right, is if you're getting the positive feedback versus
Right,
nothing.
and so in the case of Beadmaker, not only it's like my wife likes using it, my kids like you. It's like, oh well, that's obviously another step beyond what
Right.
just me liking to use products is they like using them a real lot too, because they're not car people,
right.
right?
Is it a temptation when you find products like that to try to even consider branching outside of the automotive space?
It certainly has been suggested in many cases. I think and maybe this is just a narrow-minded perspective on things, but it seems like for us, it's like we are good at this.
Yeah.
This
So
is
why
what
go
we do.
outside?
So when we go outside, we're going in a we're I don't know what the term would be. We're basically in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're going to be learning, and it could happen.
Right,
it could
right.
happen.
But you guys do branch out to in the standpoint, if you got boats, you get the babes.
Sure.
Stuff.
And we
But-
know boats though.
Yeah, but
Right.
but for instance, like
It's a natural extension of what,
Right.
what you
Right,
should
right.
probably be doing, right?
right.
So the other thing that I want to talk about is what's it like working with your brother? I mean, Bob is like, Rennie always jokes, I got a man crush on Bob all the time, but I mean, you guys have a really awesome relationship. I mean, watching
Right.
you guys, but it's like two sides of a coin. We got
Right.
the brilliant genius chemist, and then we have the brilliant genius business marketing guy, right?
Right.
So what's that like? And
Well, because we have such different, talent sets within a work environment, we don't really cross paths. We compare notes. So again, Bob will bring me in and he'll go, "Hey, I really want you to see the booth," and
Right.
I'll go, "Bob, it looks really good," but we talked about it a little bit, and I go, how about if we, I make a couple of tweak suggestions, just like he might make a couple of tweak suggestions, and they're from a fresh perspective, and
Yeah.
so that works really well. We don't, so we have separate jobs. We do interface in those scenarios. We obviously interface in the business sense of, because we're both we're co-owners of the
Yeah.
company. But I mean, back when I got out of college, I mean, Bob and I lived together, we vacationed together.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It was kind of a little strange. I mean, we go out and had the same friends and the whole. But now, I'm married, Bob's married. We do, we have separate lives and do that sort of stuff. But we still, we do things socially together still.
That's an
cool.
interesting thing, because one time somebody told me, I was visiting with Tim about his family. He's like, "Yeah, Jody, your family's not normal." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Your family actually likes each other."
Right.
and I see that really closeness, and not only in the way that you guys work together, but also in the relationship just together. And it's awesome to see that in a company and in a relationship between
Right.
brothers.
When we and I'm going to attribute some of this back to my dad again. you know, we grew up in a family business, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know, business could have been the topic of conversation at every social event, and it never is.
Right, but it also in any business, whether you're related to somebody or not, you have to be on the same path and
Right.
going in the same direction. I mean, if you wanted to go into appliance products and Bob wanted to stay in automotive, there's a clash there. But you guys are on the same page. You see it. You know, there's not this there's a dynamic link between the two of you that is not getting.
There's a common
pulled apart.
vision that's
Right,
being
right.
pushed and
Attention
developed and
exhibit
encouraged,
calls.
right? So-
Last chance. If you park the car,
Somebody-
on flat lot, you need to
Do
tow it.
not park.
Call
We're
tow
actually
trucks, and the
we're
tow
actually
trucks
doing
are coming.
a live
We need those
broadcast here
vehicles
at
towed,
SEMA
removed
2018, as you
Thank
can
you.
hear. And so a lady's
You
asking
get what you get
somebody
when you do live.
That's right,
right. So,
live and in person.
but yeah, so they are asking somebody to move their car, so which is pretty funny.
So I wanted to ask you about the future, if you
Yes.
can. What do you see as the things
Evolution,
that you can
new
reveal, the
things.
evolutions in the next couple of years? Where do you see this market going? Where do you see your products going with all the,
You know,
new
I would
things?
say, you know, the future includes, you know, and the things that we've seen at SEMA this year is, you know, partnerships.
Yeah.
And just, you know, and everybody kind of moving up and forward at the same time. I really see a lot of excitement within. I mean, within just the products and the industry, and things continuing to evolve, and the pride that people are putting into their work,
Yeah.
the detailers and all that sort of, all the people that are involved. I know I would just love to see more of the same at this point.
Yeah.
I think if we can just keep expanding on that, because it's been so much fun and so rewarding, I would just love to see that. And we don't have, you know, we don't have, as far as I know, of course, Bob may have a grand vision of this, but, you know, I don't see this, you know, building an umbrella company and
Right.
you know, and doing a lot of like purchasing, you know, mergers and acquisitions or anything like that. I feel like we would just really like to continue this course and make it just more exciting. And
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because I had a number of people yesterday come up, oh, when are they doing the next training? And, you know, I know you guys are doing training in Hayward, the rag company's doing training, and they're inviting people from all over the industry, you know, and they're highlighting your products or highlighting other products or towels, etc. And all in an effort to really elevate everybody's skill sets and knowledge of what's available, what they can do, and what they can do to, more importantly, improve their business, right?
Right.
And so it's a lot of fun. So, well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes of us. We just love being a small part of the P&S team, you know, with our branded version of RoadFS, and we just appreciate what you and Bob are doing for us, and hopefully we're contributing back.
Oh, absolutely. Again, you know, part of the team, like you said.
Yeah,
it's all, you know. I love seeing the people come by now, especially in the detail industry, and they're just hungry for, you know, you tell them, you know, Rennie has a big deal about, you know, building your business, building your brand, building your lifestyle, and making your business, you know, just cleaner and smoother and better, and the software, you know, just like totally helps make that happen, right?
Yeah, it's just a part, right?
It's just,
Yeah.
well, no, but I mean, you know, when you can walk up and you know, especially in the digital environment we live in, you know, if you can come up with a finished scenario and just go, yeah, I got this, boom, 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 you look so much more prepared. You look so much more ready to do your job, and the customer just has confidence that you know what you're doing. So it's just it's great. Yeah, you know, it's really fun, and the team, the work with our distributors and all that sort of stuff, and putting all that into the product is just
We're
amazing.
actually really excited about the distributor side of things. You know, we've been making a strong push in the detailer community, and then, you know, having the opportunity to go to Denver with you guys, and then we're like, aha!
Yeah.
Well, we can actually, you know, support a whole new segment of the market that we hadn't even imagined or thought of before, and so we're really, really excited about that.
Yeah,
so
we had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Stephen Chin from South Bay.
Right.
And he gave us some great ideas and some really good feedback. And then the team from Carolina Detailing Products. and just awesome group of people that just want, they're hungry for stuff to help their
Right.
business, you know, and that's awesome. It's a perfect timing. I think the timing is right, and I think the industry is ready to just expand out. And just like you're saying with Rennie and the Rag Company and P&S, it's the education part that I see happening. You know, Justin Lobato or Rennie always talk about educating your customer on the value of what you're doing for a vehicle to protect it.
Right.
And really, we're doing the same thing internally. We're educating the industry about the value of, you know, the newer technology
products.
What does Beadmaker do?
Yes.
How does it do this? You know, and I'm seeing more and more people come in that are non-traditional detailing enthusiasts. So you're seeing traditional body shop guys, which are
Right.
basically, you know, get it in, get it out, are saying, I want to go a little further. I don't want it to look like that when it leaves. I want it
It's
to
been,
look better.
yeah, it's been a bit of a process to get them, but they're definitely starting to go,
Yeah.
oh, I see, you know. You look around the show, and Randy was saying the same thing. It's like, you used to walk around the show and you could find, you know, 5 or 6 cars that looked like they were detailed well.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you look at what's changed. They're
Big time.
all shiny.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're all no swirls. Swirls are gone. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of amazing.
We are the swirl killer team.
That's
so.
right. So I guess we're having some success. We may have to, you know, we have to kill something else.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So-
Well, thank you very much, Dave. We really appreciate it. And
That's great. Well, we will catch you guys on another episode of Mafia Memoirs. This is Jody, Rod,
Dave.
and Dave at SEMA 2018. You guys have a great day. See ya.